Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won. For all things Miami, it's Dolphins Thursday.
Good morning, Miami Dolphin fans. I hope you're all having a great Monday. I hope you enjoyed your weekend. The Dolphins rookies will be reporting just in a few days, July 17th. We're at July 10th. So we are getting close to the Miami Dolphins having some action out there at the facility in Miami Gardens, Florida, getting a lot closer. And as always, we're going to talk anything about the Miami Dolphins. And on the Dalvin Cook front, still not much news. There are reports still, according to Boomer Esiason. I don't know if he's connected, not connected. I don't know what the deal is, but he is a big name. And he says that the Vikings have a contract offer on the table, a standing offer of $7 million per year. But Dalvin Cook does not seem to want to go there. According to Boomer, that Cook wants to come to Miami, and he's leveraging the Jets to try to get more money out of Miami. But again, like I said, I don't know how much, because Boomer did mention that Dalvin Cook was represented by Drew Rosenhaus, so he's not. So I don't know if he's just talking to have some talking points or what have you. Let's see who we got here in the morning. Hey, good morning, Ray Diaz. Fins up. Go Dolphins, and thank you for watching us today. And as you guys can see, I'm flying solo today. My co-host, who normally goes with me on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, could not make it until tonight, and I can't do a show tonight, so I'm just running in our normal time. And some of the other guys I use, they couldn't make it either. So it's just me, Dolphin Thirsty, Rob Mosley, flying solo today. But I would still appreciate you guys watching. I probably won't go as long, but we can always talk all things Miami Dolphins, because that's what we do here on Dolphins Thirsty. I dropped a link. If anyone wants to join the show, they can join the show and we can talk about the Miami Dolphins. So as far as the Cook thing, they're still basically simmering. It's not cooking, it's simmering. So we will see. Like I say, Boomer Esiason said what he said. He thinks his gut tells him that Cook wants to come to Miami. He's using the Jets as leverage. So we will see if that comes to fruition. But if the Vikings really have a contract offer of $7 million per year on the table, I can see why Cook probably got offended by Miami's first offer. Not offended, but did not take it. Miami's first offer, because Miami probably didn't offer that much, is what I would think. And then once he knew he already had $7 million on the table, he's like, well, Miami, you got to step up your game a little bit. So he's probably trying to use the Jets, if Boomer's right, to get Miami to say, oh, we don't want to lose him to the Jets. So we'll see. He could end up, because supposedly Aaron Rodgers really wants Cook there. He's even doing the old recruiting thing, trying to get him there to go. So it's a waiting game. Rookies report, like I say, in 7 days. That's going to be fun. If any of you guys have any comments, let me know. What are you guys looking forward to? We still got some contract issues of our own with in-house coming in. Just a few days away from training camp. We still haven't done an extension with Wilkins. Connor Williams wants more money. I don't think these guys will hold out. I know Connor Williams did during the mini camp, but I do not think hopefully he won't hold out during the training camp. I think he got his message across that he wants more money. And then Zach Sealer, he wants his money as well. So we'll see. We got some open up contracts there. Oh, Ray Diaz, thank you. I think that's your first time commenting in here. And normally I throw a little old Dolphin School fight song when people comment for the first time. So thank you. There you go. Thank you so much for commenting. And it's like I said, it's always great to have you guys. Feels kind of weird every time I have to fly solo, because I'm used to having banter between me and my co-host. So if one of you want to drop that, click that link I dropped, it would be awesome. But as far as me, the Dolphins, yes, they can make a few more moves. They could bring in Cook. They can re-sign some of their guys. They could bring in another defensive tackle. But the roster is basically what what we see is what we get. We're that close to training camp that it is time to just face the music, face the competition. We are just a few weeks out from having to face the Chargers, who made us look bad last year. That was one of my least favorite Dolphin games from last year. It just was kind of a dud. Tua didn't show up as much, but the whole team just felt flat. That was the second game in a row out on the West Coast. They stayed out on the West Coast, but, it just seemed like they weren't all in that game from the get-go. We had that one Tyreek Hill touchdown, which kind of a fluke, where he picked up the fumble and ran all the way in for a touchdown, which was cool. I thought that may get us jump started, but we never really got into that game. Even though the score was, pretty close, it's just though we just could never get the flow going. And as far as the Chargers, we'll see if we just had a bad game, or did they really were they that much better, or can we step our game up and beat the Chargers in week one? It's going to be a good test. And we got that West Coast trip. Yes, we got to go all the way over to Germany, but at least we get the West Coast trip out of the way the first week of the season. Boom, kaput, and you're done, and you don't have to worry about traveling across the country after that one. Of course, you got to go over the pond to face Kansas City over there, but truthfully, I would rather face Kansas City in Germany than in Kansas City. If I had to take the crowds there in Kansas City, is always crazy. So kind of the Dolphins to me, actually get a little bit of a break and not having to go into Arrowhead Stadium. They may have to face them in the playoffs in Arrowhead Stadium if the season goes okay and the Dolphins make it into the playoffs, get to play the Chiefs in a later round, and when all's on the line, that'd be great. Of course, I would rather have it here in South Florida at Hard Rock Stadium, which I still like to call Joe Robbie Stadium. But there's really not much news on the Miami Dolphins front as far as like breaking news, breaking stories. I checked everything this morning before coming on. The biggest thing was still Dalvin Cook, that we all waiting for him. It's like a holding pattern. And Ender, if you're listening still, Ender, thank you for some of the suggestions on Miami Dolphins trivia. On my website, I got a lot of Dolphins trivia, dolphinthirsty.com. And I also have it in the community section here on YouTube on my channel, Dolphins Thirsty, here on YouTube. Under the community channel, I have trivia questions. So people tend to like that, get some good responses. Ender told me to hit that air because I've been hitting all my air when I grew up, like AJ Dewey, Kimbo Camper, David Woodley, Tony Nathan, and all those guys. And of course, the Dan Marino air. So I moved it up to some Zach Thomas and Jason Taylor trivia the past couple days. And as far as the season, do you guys like the schedule now that it's 17 games? Do you miss the 16 game, or you like the 17 game schedule? Because the 17 game schedule does give us the additional home game this year. So the Dolphins have 9 home games. So you got to at least 7-2 at home, play 500 on the road. That would get you to 11 wins. And I think that should get you a sound playoff positioning. So yes, 7-2 on the at home might be asking for a lot, but 7-2, 500 on the road, you got yourselves 11 wins, a playoff spot, and maybe we can finally end not winning a playoff game for 20 plus years. I like saying 20 plus years because it keeps on going up and up and up and up. Let's see. Good morning. I'm new to your channel. Do you think Cook will be a Dolphin? Hey, Fins Nation TV, if you want to join the show this morning, you can drop the link I threw in there. Normally I have a co-host, but they couldn't make it today, so it's just me flying solo. So, which is fine. I can always talk about the Fins. And do you think I just talked a little about a Fin Nation TV. I don't really know, because supposedly if Boomer Esiason is connected, he said on his podcast or show, whatever you want to call his thing there, and then he says that Cook has a contract offer on the table from the Minnesota Vikings, the team that let him go, of $7 million per year, which is a little north of what I was thinking the Dolphins probably offered him. That's probably why he didn't jump on that contract. Supposedly Aaron Rodgers really wants him to become a Jet, but supposedly Cook wants to become a Dolphin, and he's levering the Jets. So I don't know. We will see. He's trying to leverage the Jet to the Dolphins to get more money out, saying, hey, I'm flirting with the Jets. But Esiason says that Cook wants to become a Dolphin if all things are equal, but he wants does want the respect of a little bit more money. So we will see soon enough. Oh, Jim G, I was just saying, to me, I think the Dolphins kind of got a break playing Kansas City out in Germany than having to go out to Arrowhead. I may be wrong. It's still a tough team we got to face. But to me, facing them in Germany is almost like a little break and having to go into Arrowhead Stadium. Of course, in the playoffs, if we play Kansas City on the road, of course, it's going to be at Arrowhead Stadium. So that's all I was basically saying, that even though we got to go over the pond to play a football game, to me, it's almost kind of like a break than going into Arrowhead Stadium in that sea of red and where they get the chant going. And if the Chiefs get any momentum, it can be really tough to even hear your signals. So that's all I said. I mean, you still got to beat a good football team. Kansas City. Oops, sorry, my phone just fell on the floor. So that's it. That's all I said about Arrowhead. I just think that we kind of got a break not having to play out there this year. Let's see. Oh, those are good old guys, like the trivia. Thank you, Hank. Yeah, it's in there. You can get lots of trivia on dolphinthirsty.com, and then you can get it in my community question. Community section. I try to do one question a day. Sometimes I do polls, but whatever. So it's all good. Scotty, let's see. So this story is a swap. Usually when I do the Dolphins to get better deals elsewhere. Yes, I agree. That's what it seems to be. If Boomer's connected, and he probably a little more, he probably know more people in league circles than I do for sure. So, but he did mention that I don't know who represents Dalvin Cook again, but it's not Drew Rosenhaus. So he did say that because he go, oh, Drew Rosenhaus doing what he did with the Tyreek Hill thing. He leveraged the Jets and the Dolphins end up in the ante to bring Tyreek to Miami. So we will see. So hopefully Cook does become a Dolphin, but at the end of the day, it's not really that big of a deal. I would hate that he goes to the Jets because it's just a division rival. The Jets have gotten better. They freaking got Aaron Rodgers, so that will be a little bit of a battle this year in the division. So I don't know. So hopefully, though, the Dolphins go up the standings this year, and we, can knock off Buffalo for the division. I would love that. And speaking of up, if you can give me a fins up, but YouTube calls it a thumbs up, I would love it. You guys are the best. You guys come in here, makes this fun. Him and me flying solo today. You guys do make it fun. Let's see what Jim G. Oh, yeah, my buddy Chief Fan just transferred to Germany for work. Oh, wow. But didn't get tickets. And Scotty says, my offer since February was $5 million plus $2 million incentives achievable. So that put it, I think he would sign that. I agree, Scotty. That's what I was thinking, somewhere in that neighborhood. But supposedly Minnesota has a $7 million a year offer on the table for him. But I do think he wants to get out of Minnesota. He's already been cut. I don't think he wants to go back. But if no team offers that I don't know if that $7 Boomer Esiason did not say specifically whether that's guaranteed or some of that's incentive, but supposedly he has a $7 million a year offer on the table from the Vikings to return to Minnesota for another season. But that he's been negotiating with the Jets in hopes to get more money from Miami. That's the rumor. That's like the locker room gossip or whatever, water cooler talk. I don't know how much is validated, how much is just gossip to get them clicks and ratings. I don't think really anyone knows other than Cook. The team's talking to him and Cook's agent. Other than that, not many people are in the know. But to me, I feel like, as a Dolphin fan, of course, I might be biased. I feel like Cook wants to become a Miami Dolphin. The young man grew up down here, played his high school ball down here, played his college football a little up north, well, pretty far up north here in Florida because I'm in South Florida. He played up in Tallahassee for the Florida State Seminoles. And he came down here and he spanked the Hurricanes every time he played the Hurricanes and did well. I think he would love to come down and play for a South Florida team for a change back like in his high school days. And then that's what I think, though. That's just me thinking. But obviously, if it's a big difference in money, then, those feelings are going to change. If one team's offering $3 million a year more, then the Dolphins, the state income tax difference isn't going to be making up that difference. So then, yes, he may leave to go. I mean, he may go sign elsewhere. But from all accounts, it seems like it's between the Jets and the Dolphins right now, and unless it's because we had heard like New England was in the mix, but that's kind of quieted down. New England supposedly wanted to bring in DeAndre Hopkins and Dalvin Cook as a package deal, but I haven't heard much on that front the past few days. So we will see. I would like Cook as a Dolphin, but at the end of the day, we got pretty good running backs. The biggest stinky part would be if he goes to the Jets because it's more of the petty thing. You don't want to see him go to a division rival on a team that's already improving a lot. So that's the biggest reason I would love him to become a Dolphin so he doesn't become a Jet. I know that's kind of silly. I mean, he's a great football player, and he instantly becomes our best running back for sure. Let's see. Yes, I agree. He wants to be in Miami so bad, it's obvious. I agree, Scotty, but of course, I don't know if I'm saying that because I'm wearing my Dolphin hat and I got my Dolphin colors behind me. But to me, it seems like Cook wants, it's obvious he wants to become a Miami Dolphin, of course. But like I say, I'm wearing aqua and orange every day, you know, when I do these shows, and always, almost every day anyway. So it's just maybe some of that's my fan talking in me. But I agree with you. If I throw everything, I mean, if I threw all this stuff off and decided, okay, let me see. I still think Cook wants to become a Dolphin. I really do. And I think if the money's close, even if Jets offer a little bit north of what the Dolphins are offering, he will come to Miami. Now, and if it's millions of dollars difference, then that's where, you know, the cat's out of the bag and really no one knows what's going to happen. I don't know. But yes, I do believe Dalvin Cook wants to become a Dolphin. The kid grew up down here. He's now, of course, a young man, but he grew up down here as a kid playing football in South Florida, stayed in the state of Florida, played for Florida State Seminoles. So, yes, I do believe he would love to return to the Sunshine State. He lives out here during the off season, works out here during the off season. And to me, it's just for sure he would love to just finish up his career here with the Dolphins. And the Dolphins do meet the criteria. He wants to go to a team that is good. The Dolphins are in that category of a team that's good. Yes, we haven't won a playoff game for a long time, but we're right there. We're right there. And I think this is the year. I know I've said that many years, but I really believe this year is the year. If we don't get it done this year, I really, I don't know. We haven't won a playoff game since December 30th, 2000, when Lamar Smith had that big game back in the playoffs. But since then, it's been a stinker for the Dolphins since then getting to the playoffs. We've had tons of general managers, tons of head coaches, even switched owners, and nothing seems to matter. We still have 0 playoff wins since that date. But I really do believe that the Dolphins are right there at knocking at the door. They could have easily beaten Buffalo last year. I know, would have, could have, should have. But if Tua's healthy in that game and plays, I mean, we had our basically third string quarterback in a playoff game, and we basically held tight with Buffalo. And I know Buffalo's come down a little bit, you know, because they got blown out by Cincinnati. Hey, I got some relief here.
All right. What's going on?
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you for joining, man. That's awesome.
I didn't know you was solo. I would have been around earlier.
Yeah, nah, don't worry, man. It's all good. I was getting by. You know, it's not as easy. So thank you, Hank. This is Fish Tank Hank. Let me throw his name up there. So, Fish Tank, we were talking a little bit about Dalvin Cook, but I don't know if you saw what Boomer Esiason said.
No, I didn't see what Boomer had to say. I've been seeing what everybody else is saying, that he's going to the Jets.
Yeah. So Boomer, though, still thinks he really wants to come to Miami, and he's leveraging the Jets. But, you know, that's just him saying that. So, but supposedly what Boomer said also is that the fact that the Jets the Vikings have a $7 million a year offer for him on the table already. So, and, you know, to return to Minnesota for next year, you know?
Yeah.
And hold on, I'm trying to find a better background now that you're here. There you go. Oh, no, that's not your Corvette. I can't find your Corvette, Hank.
Uh-oh, you lost my car.
Yeah, here it is. There you go.
I let you borrow it till Tuesday, and you go losing it.
Yeah, I know, exactly. That was funny. I said, I'm just going to pick on him. But your car's looking really good. I can't believe it. You're going to get it finally. Tomorrow, you're going to get it.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow, I'm going to take a video of it, because I'll actually get up close on it and see some of what these folks have done. It's I can't I can't give enough credit to Pop Shadow Decals over in Odessa, Florida.
Well,
That they have just done an incredible job. They redesigned it. They've done a lot.
It's looking great. That's why I keep on looking down, because I'm looking at your car, and then I saw the real pictures you sent out. So it's getting close, man. You're getting so close to having it, and it's going to be great. I bet you can't wait to roll down here to South Florida and put that into Hard Rock Stadium parking lot. Everyone's going to be admiring it. So,
well, my wife and I have become regulars at a few places around here where people know us.
Right.
So we've been telling them we're getting the car wrapped, and they all wanted to see it, So now we're going to go finally tomorrow, get the car, and it's well worth the wait, though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. No, it's going to look great. It's going to look super. Like you said, some Corvette enthusiasts may get mad at you, but other than that, I don't see anyone,
just
some
the
Corvette
Jaguars fans and the Bucks fans.
Oh yeah, other sport fans may not like. Yeah, other sport fans may not like it as much. But as far as Dolphin fans, everyone's gonna like it. But like you say, some people in your Corvette club, they may say, "Oh my God, what did you do? That's sacrilegious doing that to a Corvette."
Yeah, they'll say that. They'll definitely say that. But that's all right.
Yeah,
that's all right. I live in my own world.
Some of those Corvette enthusiasms that you say they treat their car better than their family. So
yeah. Well, and that's the whole thing. I'm not one of those people. I got the car to enjoy it for myself, and I drive the wheels off that thing. I've had it 8 months, and I've driven it 10,000 miles.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. So you're going more than 1,000 a month. So
yeah, I drive it. So my wife and I, we go on cruises. We take the top down when it's nice at night. It's beautiful to go cruising. We'll sometimes go at 3 a.m. and go watch the rockets take off.
Wow, that's cool, man. Good stuff. Well, let's hopefully the Dolphins take off this year.
The Dolphins are definitely going to be taking off this year. There's no doubt in my mind, Thirsty. Don't worry about it. They're going to hit it out of the park. This offense has got to turn. With or without Dalvin Cook, I'd love to see Dalvin Cook on here. Yeah. But you know what the deal. If you're not going to come on and join the team, then you need to move on.
Yeah, I know. We'll see, man. Like I say, he may end up with the Jets, but I really do believe, I know in my heart, I think he really wants to come to Miami, but if the money is so much different, he's going to go where – and the Jets, though, also unfortunately meet the criteria of being a team that's going to compete. He wants a team that can compete, and he wants, of course, to be respected, and he wants the ball. So, all of those things Miami can't give, because I don't know how much he would get the ball here. I think he would get it more than anyone else. But we do have a stacked running back room, and McDaniel likes to interchange his running backs for different scenarios and stuff.
They have Breece Hall, right? The Jets.
Yeah, they have Breece Hall, but I don't know if they know if Breece Hall is coming back 100% right away, so they may be leveraging that. Because Breece Hall I think he's going to be 100% by camp, but you never know with injuries. Some people have setbacks or whatever, or if Breece Hall would get hurt again, like any NFL player. Maybe they don't want to be in the same boat they were last year with no other running backs. So, but they got that other kid too that they drafted, the Carter kid or whatever. So I don't know why they're out to get him, but they may be doing that too. They may say, well, we don't want him to go to Miami. It's like Miami doesn't want him to go to the Jets. So it could be some of that back and forth going on too. So, and supposedly Aaron Rodgers has been on the recruiting tour trying to get Cook to go to New York. He's really been. I don't know if any Dolphin players are flirting with him, getting him. We should get some of our big name players, but who knows? Like I said, we don't know what Miami's interest level in him. Obviously, they want him. They got a contract on the table for him, but it obviously wasn't not something that Cook jumped at. So
yeah,
it's not like the big money. So if Minnesota if what they're saying that Minnesota has an offer of $7 million on the table, the Dolphins probably have less than that, because I think if the Dolphins would offer that, he would have jumped on it to come to Miami. So in the back of his mind, he probably knows, well, if I don't get the money I want to go to the teams that are going to compete, I can go over to Minnesota, return to Minnesota. I'm going to have $7 million a year guaranteed. So, he may just be playing that leverage, and if no one knocks his socks off, he could. But Boomer says he doesn't think he wants to return to Minnesota. So we will
Yeah,
see. None of us know. We're all speculating. But I do, in my heart, I feel like Cook, all things being equal, for sure, he would come to Miami. If the money's so much different to where the money's way more in other teams, then I do not feel like, then he's going to come.
I definitely don't want him going to the Jets. All
Oh,
right?
me either. I know. That's the penny
If he
fan
goes to the Jets over like $1 million, like I'm talking about, I'll be ticked off, man.
Yeah. So did they do anything real quick, not to talk about your card too much, but did they do anything to the interior stuff or just outside?
Oh, fins up, Jim. No, they didn't do anything. They took the panels off so that they could do the wrap. But no, I didn't have them mess with the inside. The interior's tan.
All right. He said to each their own, which is true. That's what you say.
Yep.
But the car wrap's definitely unique. So
yeah, it took a while to design it. It wasn't just stick it on there because it took a while to get the dolphin in the right place. But I wanted it to say Miami Dolphins on it.
Yeah, you did. Hey, you got it. It looks great. It's super. Hopefully, like we said, the Dolphins are rolling forward, just like your car is going to be rolling forward to get to South Florida.
We're going to have a great time. I appreciate you folks asking me. I appreciate all the tweets and all that and the follows on Twitter also. I just been having a great time with it. Like I said, it's a lifetime thing. It's a once in a lifetime thing for me.
Yeah,
and I'm doing it, and like I said, if I don't like the wrap in 3 years or in a year, if I don't like it, I would get it removed.
Yeah.
But I like it.
Hey, you know what? It's different, and it's definitely unique, like Jim G said. And of course, I'm a Dolphin fan, so I'm going to think it's cool.
I think it's cool. I think most NFL fans will think it's pretty cool.
Oh, no, for sure. There's like a van that goes around. Like when I was at the softball game, there's like an old school van and it's all Miami Dolphin up. So you're not alone. It's a wrap, but it's an old, like 1980s van style, like the old vans that all the hippies would love to hang out. But 1980s hippies, not 1970s Volkswagen hippies, but like that American style van that before the minivan became popular. I don't even know what kind of van those are called, but ones that, people loved back in the day. There's one of those that goes around to all the Dolphin events. So I think of you now, because I've seen it twice since I've talked about your car coming. So I go, Hank, it's like the newer modern version, because this one's, like I say, an older van, but it's like Dolphin instead of Dolphin. I think it's Dolphin, like he playing on the words, like this is a Dolphins fan, and he calls it the pin fan and all that. So it's good. Good stuff.
Yeah, my wife tried to call my car Dolvet. I was like, no.
Nah, that doesn't sound good enough.
No.
You need some other name for it. So, but hey, anyway, it looks super. Just like I want the Dolphins to be Super Bowl bound. I know you're high hopes. You're really thinking the Dolphins could get to the Super Bowl this year.
I truly believe that they are going to make a stand this year. And you're all going to know it and you're all going to see it when they face the Kansas City Chiefs. Watch. When they face the Kansas City Chiefs, they're for real. And we're going to know by week 4 whether the Miami Dolphins are real or not.
No, for sure. I agree. Because we got to play the Chargers out there in New England, and then we got Buffalo in that stretch too.
And then a home game with the Broncos.
Right.
If you can't beat those teams in the beginning, 3 out of those 4 at least.
Yeah.
Then
that's
we're
going to
have
You got to win at least 3 of those 4. That's how I'm with you 100%, Hank. You got to win 3 of those 4. And
I'd like to see that anyway. See 3 of those 4 come down and push it on through. And if we get 3 out of 4, I have a great feeling. If we get 2 out of 4, I'll be like, still on the fence, and then I'll have to wait for that Kansas City game.
Oh no, I agree with you 100% on that.
But that Kansas City game is going to tell us where we really stand in the NFL against the best teams. Because everybody keeps saying Kansas City's the best, Kansas City's the best. But we don't play Kansas City. Now we do this year.
Yeah.
Finally. So all the talk will be over. Miami will play them. It'll be team on team. Nobody has a home field advantage or any of that garbage. It's going to be awesome. It's
Yeah.
going to be awesome. I wish I would have got tickets to that, but I couldn't get them. So
No, I know they went quick. They were gone instantly, basically. Like within 15 minutes, all the tickets were gone over there. So that's definitely a popular game. Scotty says, I can't wait to play Buffalo. That's the game that's going to shut people up. I agree. That's the one. If we can go up there in Buffalo and finally get that, we got the monkey off our back of finally beating Buffalo down here this past year in 2022. Now we got to go up to Buffalo and be able to smack them in the face up in Buffalo.
Yeah, lay the smack down, Thirsty. Tell them.
Yeah, no, that's what we need to
do.
Because they still own us up there. We have not been able to beat them up there. In the play, I mean, both games last year that we played them up there, in the regular season and playoff, we could have beat them, but that's that would have, could have, should have. We didn't. We lost. So now, if we go in their full staff, I do believe we can go up to Buffalo, go into Orchard Park, and kick their butt and bring some Dolphin pride back to South Florida. And that would be a statement to go up there early in the season and say, we're business this year. We're not the normal Dolphins just vying for second place and hoping for a wild card. We want the AFC East title. We want to be the big dogs in the AFC East. And that would be a big step to go up there, go to Buffalo, smack them in the face, beat them. And then because last year, Buffalo, they still whine about, oh, it was hot and blah, blah, blah. And that's the only reason you beat us. I'm going to go up there in their park, beat the heck out of them, and then to see what they're going to have some excuse like, well, we didn't have this and we didn't have that.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want to go up there, punch them in the face early in the season, get that Buffalo monkey off our back up there. Because then if we do have to return for whatever reason that the season goes and they finish it a little ahead of us in the standings, we have to go back up there. We would know we can beat them up there. It won't be
absolutely.
In our head. It won't be in your head like, oh my God, we can't win here. You would know you can win there. So that's why I'm with Scotty.
Yeah. Fins up, Scotty. I say the same thing. I love our schedule too. A lot of people say that you have to beat the best, like Scotty's saying, and I agree. I love how we start out. We start out across the country. They should be over there early and acclimated, whether it be the weather, whether it be the time frame, whatever this East to West Coast thing is, they should be over there a week early. Yeah. Get ready for it. Then you come home and you come back to the East Coast and you play a night game, which is basically you're still on the same time frame.
Yeah, I know.
So it's not bad at all. It's a great time to run into those games the way we're running into them. Yeah. So I agree with Scotty on that too.
Good morning, Adam. Fins up to you all. And remember, thumbs up if you're in here and you haven't thrown the thumbs up my way. Only if we earn it, of course. And if you're brand new in here, I would love a tackle, throw a laser pass at the subscribe button. But like I always say, you guys are more team members than subscribers. I just like talking about the Miami Dolphins. I don't even have stuff to sell you, nothing like that. It's just other than Miami Dolphins talk.
Yeah, I don't have nothing to sell anybody. I mean,
I
just let everybody know where I got my car done so they could know who does top quality stuff, because that's a nerve-wracking thing, because, some cars they pull apart, and like my car, they pulled it apart. So,
I hope it's there. Well, hopefully the Dolphins are all put together beautifully and kick butt this year, just like your car is going to be put back to beautiful.
There's a position that we haven't talked about, that nobody's talking about, that I want to talk about with you today, Thirsty. Now, let's talk about this Jason Sanders issue or non-issue, however you see that.
That he has no competition.
What do you think about that? Did they bring in competition for him? I mean, what's going on with that? Do you have any news on that?
No, the last I heard, he has no competition. He started kicking better at the end of last year, but I did think that they may bring this in a camp body to, give him a chance to kick and make Jason Sanders say, oh, maybe I need a little, keep on my A game. But they seem to have 100% faith in the kicker. And I'm fine. He did worry me a few times. I'm not going to be a phony now and saying that he didn't scare me a little bit last year because he missed some kicks that he normally hadn't missed. Granted, a lot of them were longer, but he used to be really good at the longer ones. That was like almost his specialty, nailing those 50-yarders.
Hey, I have faith, bro. I have faith in it. You know what I mean? I have total faith that they're going to, turn it around. He had a few bad kicks. Yeah, it happens. Everybody has a few bad games here and there. I mean, I'm a pretty, you talk baseball sometimes. I'm a pretty decent hitter. I can usually get on base. I'm usually a high hitter, high
Like
average.
high average hitter.
Yeah, and I can get on base, but I can't run for nothing. So
Hey, that's understandable.
I
No,
usually dink it right over the infield is what I do. And then once the outfield moves up, then I hit it as hard as I can, and it hits the wall every time because I can't get it over the wall.
hey, Wade Boggs was a great contact hitter. He could hit home runs once in a while, but Wade Boggs was, yes, I'm throwing another Boston Red Sox name out there. Even though he became a damn Yankee after, but hey.
That's okay, though, because Miami's going to be just like me. They're going to get those hitters that they need to get, especially in the beginning of the season, and we're going to be on the tracks rolling. And I think the kicking team, Sanders, will turn it around. I think he'll be on target and make it happen.
Yeah. Jim G, I'm the Dolphin. I mean, I'm the Red Sox fan. I don't know who does Scotty root for? I don't know. But I'm a Red Sox fan, and I'm from South Florida, but there was no team when I was a kid. Jim G. I grew up loving the Red Sox.
I hear you, Jordan. Yeah, we got to get the Wilkins issue done.
Yeah, I agree with that. That was another topic I was going to bring up today. Wilkins,
totally agree.
Connor Williams, all these guys, we need money, but especially Wilkins. But when you saw that Steve Malloy, who's my co-host tomorrow night, or I'm his co-host tomorrow night on the Fins Talk Sports Network on Real Talk Fins Talk, 7:30 p.m. tomorrow night. He sent me a text yesterday showing me that, Wilkins isn't in like among the best. He's like in the other level, not the elite level. So he was saying that's why you don't pay Wilkins $20 million a year. But yeah, I think if it goes to that number, the $20 million, yeah, the Dolphins will not be signing him. But if they can get in anywhere from like 16 to 18 million, I believe the Dolphins can get that done. So
yeah, I would love to see him signed. I mean, I don't care what else is going on. Get him signed, get him in the house. I mean, if you're playing this game with the carrot game and you won't bump it up $1 million, Greer, fine. Then get somebody in-house signed if that's what the game you're playing right now.
No, I know. I agree. I like Wilkins too because not only from what he does on the field, he just seems to be like a motivational guy. He's 100% energy. He runs sideline to sideline. Never gives up on a play, makes up plays that a lot of defensive tackles wouldn't may way out on the flat because he doesn't give up. He may not get the initial penetration into the backfield, but he would run down the line and tackle the guy maybe for just a 1 or 2 yard gain instead of letting the running back go for big yards. So I love that motor he has. When the Dolphins score on offense, he's often down there celebrating with the offense. To me, that's some kind of cool. He just has that mentality where I wouldn't be surprised if he's the first guy in, the last guy out. If I'd be shocked if he's not one of those guys. He just seems to love what he does, and I want Wilkins there. It's going to come down to the good old greenback and how much the Dolphins can give him compared to other teams.
Absolutely, you can definitely see that he makes you excited when you're in the stands. When he starts getting all excited and you see him run down, you get excited with him. How could you not? I mean, and the crowd goes wild. It's unbelievable.
No, we got a lot of people. Jordan's chiming in again. He wants Dalvin, but Wilkins is a bigger need.
Absolutely.
And Scotty goes, Wilkins gets into players' head as well, like no other. I love that. And he does. He gets into Josh Allen's head all the time, and Josh Allen doesn't like him, I'm pretty sure.
Hey, there's nothing worse than seeing a 300 and some odd pound man sitting there laughing and telling jokes to you right before he goes and beats up on you.
Yeah, I know. No, it's good. I mean, I like him. He brings an energy level that's unparalleled to anyone else on the Dolphins. But we know it's going to come down to money. It's a business on both sides. The team runs it as a business. The players run it as a business. We as fans just have to deal with the business, but we just want our team to win, and we don't want to hear all the money talk. We're just like, let's just get our players that we want and let's win. and that's it. But, from there, and I understand from the owner's side because it's a business for them. I understand from the player's side because their careers, even if they have long NFL career, is short compared to other people's careers. So it's just, you got to get your money when you can. It's a tough sport. So I understand both sides of it, but it just sucks as a fan sometimes when, money gets in the way of just giving you the product that you might want.
That's the other good thing about our team too is Mr. Ross. Mr. Ross, he doesn't mind opening his checkbook.
Oh, no, he doesn't.
He doesn't mind at all. And I'm talking about bonuses and those things, because that's what's really starting to sign people now is these bonuses so that it doesn't come off of our top of our heap or whatever. So that they're our cap. So it just keeps coming back around.
Oh, no. He's willing to rework contracts. He's willing to give signing bonuses, anything. I mean, sometimes fans will rip him because he does stupid things and whatever, and will come out in public and say dumb stuff. But you can never rip him for not trying. I mean, he tried too hard in the whole Tom Brady thing. It cost us a first-round draft pick and whatever because he was willing to, tamper and do everything. But at least he did it with the intent to make the Dolphins a better team, which we all want the Dolphins to be a better team.
Absolutely.
So, yes, much grief as he gets, and I understand the grief because he's been the owner and we haven't won a playoff game since he's been the owner. But it's not from lack of trying. The man will, if tomorrow Chris Greer says, hey, rework this contract and we can fit this contract in and get this guy in, Ross is like, okay, where do I sign? It's not like, well, Chris, I've already given you he wouldn't even say that. He said, where do I sign?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where I agree.
Here we go. Jordan says, he's everywhere on the field, and he's a bad man. 99 tackles last year. Let's get him over the hump this year. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree. And then Scotty says, cash of cap is the real difference between rich owners and cheap ones. Salary cap all teams spend. It's actually yearly cash that runs the NFL.
No.
Yeah, cash over cap. Yeah, that's what we were saying. Yeah, something along those lines with the bonuses and all that.
Right.
So, and our owner has money and likes to spend it, so we're lucky.
Oh, we are lucky on that front. We are 100% lucky on that front. Yes, unfortunately, he hasn't had the best luck since he's been the Dolphins. He's hired some bad people, but I finally think we may have hired some of the right people. Chris Greer still has to prove it to me, but I do like McDaniel. Chris Greer, he's been okay. He knows how to get, make maneuvers and stuff. Some of his draft, might be questionable, but we have had some good picks with him. So I'm a little okay with Greer. McDaniel, I think we have our coach of the future. We just got to stick with them. None of this every 3 years, hire a new coach and let's build up the whole thing all over again, which is all we've done for the past decade. You bring in a guy 3 years, boom, boom. I mean, some of it is against because it all started with like Nick Saban. He left us. Nothing you can do. I'm not going to be the Alabama coach,
and then Jimmy Johnson did the same thing.
No, Jimmy Johnson. Yeah, Jimmy Johnson really did it. And then he came back for one more year when he had no more passion left because he quit. They talked him into doing one more year. He stayed one more year. Then it was Dave Wannstedt. That's the sad thing. Dave Wannstedt's been our most successful coach in all that stretch. And it sucks. But, it is what it is. So, yeah, and then, Philbin was gone a little after 3. Adam Gase had 3 years. Flores was gone after. So it's just like, like we repeat the same thing. It's like the Groundhog Day with the Miami Dolphins.
Revolving doors, man. You wake up, that radio, and you smash it. Smash.
Yeah, I know. That's it, man. So I just say, and it sucks because it's what happens over and over. I like McDaniel. I know we will see. He will, he got us to the playoffs last year, but we only won the 9. I know people will point out that the Dolphins were a little better under Flores, but we didn't make the playoffs, so that's all semantics. But I think the overall scheme, overall fit for the organization, that McDaniel is the right choice, and he just needs to be given time. We love to Monday morning quarterback because that's what we do just as fans, whether it's on here on YouTube or at the water cooler, at your workplace or while you're having lunch at work, whatever you do, and talking to your friends. we love to second guess every single move, every coach, no matter what, whether it's a manager in baseball, a head coach in football. We all think we would have made the better choice, So we're like, oh, I wouldn't have called that.
I don't know about all that. I'm not that good. I'll tell you right now, with the staff that they currently have, Miami is hands down knocking it out of the park as far as two coaches, two head coaches, an offensive head coach and a defensive-minded head coach on our team this year. One had a year to acclimate to the NFL on his own, and I think he's grown since then, which is McDaniel, of course. Fangio, Vic, he took a year off. Yeah. And he said that he's been coming up with all kinds of stuff.
I know. I'm excited to see that. I heard you say that on your show Saturday over
our offense and defense and special teams have not played as a full team yet.
No, they haven't.
With these two, it's gonna happen, Thirsty. It's gonna happen. There's no way around it. They're gonna come in, they're gonna set up on offense. There's gonna be no way to cover everybody. You're gonna come in on defense. The way that his schemes are set up we know, stop the explosive plays and intercept and turnovers. That is Vic Fangio defense, hands down, 7 days of the week, and it's going to happen. And he's had a year to prep, and a lot of teams now copy what he did back then, and now he's going to have new wrinkles into it. Oh, this is going to be fun.
No, this is going to be a lot of fun. I agree with you 100%. It should be a fun season. And like I say almost every episode, as long as, McDaniel doesn't become Adam Gase sitting on the bench when the defense is out there. I don't want to get to that point, but I don't want him to have to worry. I'd rather him be out there already, just watching what's going on, of course, but worrying about, okay, I know this defense is going to get me the ball back, so I'm already scheming for my next, what we're going to do once we get the ball back. That's what I want. And I think we're going to get that complimentary football finally.
Uh-oh. We're getting predictions. Here we go.
Agree. Here's real quick, though. Agreed. Ross haters don't understand what we could actually have. I agree with that. And then I would throw Scotty's. That's 12-5. I like that, Scotty.
Well, hold on. Jordan says he sees or she sees 13. So I like 13.
Wow, 13. That's really, you guys are really, I would be happy with 11. 10's my floor. So anything above 10 to be happy. Anything under 10, I'm really disappointed and something went wrong if we don't get double digits wins this year. And there's no excuse about how tough the schedule is because you got to beat the best to be the best, like one of our guys pointed out. I've seen that was a while back, but that's how I believe too, that you got to, to be the best, you got to be the best. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't care if we have to play Kansas City. And, of course, we have to play the Jets twice a year, and we got to play Buffalo twice a year.
We got to go into Philly and win in Philly.
We got to play Dallas, got to go play Philadelphia. I do not care because if you can't beat those teams, then there's no reason to even really get hopeful because you're going to have to beat those teams if you get into the playoffs.
Yeah, when you get into the playoffs, you're going to play those caliber teams. Definitely, Thirsty. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, no, that's it. I mean, it's going to be, we're going to be battle tested if we get through this schedule.
Absolutely.
And it's going to, we're going to be ready. And it's a tough one, but we're a tough football team too. And I just really feel like that we're better than what we've been the past few years. Like I say, we haven't won a playoff game forever. First things first, let's get to the playoffs, win a playoff, then we can talk Super Bowl. But I just have a feeling this is the year that the Dolphins will get a playoff win. I just feel it because they just seem to be coming together. They seem to be on the same page. Like I say, that's why I really like McDaniel. I know some people think he might be like, oh, he's not that hard yelling Dan Campbell type big guy. But I like him. I think he relates to the players.
Exactly. And that's what you need as a head coach nowadays. You have to be able to relate to the players. And the other thing that we have is we've had a 3-year nucleus of some of the same players on the team. And that's starting to gel at this point in time. You have your other little pieces out here and there, but it's still starting to come together. Also.
Oh, no, I agree. And Jordan's with you saying that they're going to beat Kansas City.
Oh
So,
yeah, I've been saying that for
oh, I know. That's what I
since the
say. You've
schedule
been
came
saying
out.
that
I
all
said we're
along.
beating Kansas City.
That'd be great. And like I said, before you came in, I was saying we kind of catch a break at the games in Germany and not have to go into Kansas City. To me,
Yeah.
it's almost like we got to be it's like a non-road game. It's going to be like a neutral site. And there's a good chance there'll be a lot of Dolphin fans out there in Germany. So to me, we really catch up. We don't have to go into that sea of red. We don't have to go into Arrowhead Stadium. All I do feel bad for my buddy Wesley, though, because he's never gone to a road. He's gone all the home there, but he's never gone. But he was going to go to Kansas City because he has a good friend that lives there. And I was telling him all along, like, don't count that chicken yet. You know, that could be the game that, because I knew Kansas City was going to have an overseas game. They were one of the teams up to have an overseas game. I was saying it could be the Dolphins. He goes, what are the odds? It's never going to be the Dolphins. And then when that happened, when I walked in the next time he saw me, he's like shaking my head, like, I don't want to hear you, Rob. I don't want to hear you because I know what you're about to say once their schedule was announced. But, you know, it sucks for him, but hey, he understands them. But instead, you know, he says, yeah, I could still get to a road game one of these days. But that one was just working out perfect for him. Just see.
I'm looking something up right now, Thirsty, that I thought that we have, but I'm not sure.
Kansas City having to travel as well.
So Kansas City has to travel. We have to travel. We travel after we're at home versus the Patriots. So the nice part about this is the Miami Dolphins, I think, have their bye after the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think, yes, I do believe. I would have to throw up the schedule.
So that's the other part of it is Miami has the bye after the Chiefs. And I'm telling you, they're going to know they have that bye. And they're going to play like they have that bye. They're going to play like there's no tomorrow and like they're going to have an extra week off.
Yeah. There you go. Week 9, we're at Kansas City in Germany. And then week 10's the bye.
That's a huge part of it, I believe, Thirsty, to be totally honest with you. Knowing you have that bye coming in, you know you could put it 120% out on that field and come back home and not worry about it for a week.
Yeah. No, I agree. And there you guys go. If you can see the screen, they don't have the dates. In all my wisdom, I forgot to put the date.
That's all right, though.
But yeah, but you know what the weeks are there, so it's close enough. And that's, you can kind of figure out the Black Friday game is going to be in November, so you know where you are. So
yeah, but, and a home game coming out of the bye too, so it's pretty sweet.
No, it is, man. I mean, to me, that's it. That schedule, yes, the Chargers are tough. Even the Patriots on Sunday night. I know we're all scoffing at the Patriots, but that's going to be a tough battle on Sunday Night Football. Then you come home and you play the Broncos, who are going to be improved. I know we're all chalking up that as his victory, but the Broncos will be improved. They got Sean Payton now. It's going to be Russell Wilson's second year or so.
Yeah. There's no joke when you have Sean Payton on the other side. You know it's going to be a well-coached team, and I don't necessarily know if they were well-coached last year. So.
No, I agree. So.
Yeah, Broncos usually have something to say. I'm not discounting them. I just think that we're better.
Yeah. No, I agree. And a home game coming out of the bye is nice. Yes, that's what I agree, man. That's a lot of time that we go and we have that. Let's see. Our West Coast trip out of the way week 1. I keep telling the schedule fairs that this is a solid. Yeah, no, I agree that it's tough because you can't change your opponents. Those are going to be our opponents no matter what. But how the schedule got maneuvered around, it helps us. So
I like it.
It's set up. And like I say, it's like, to me, yes, the teams are tough, but how the schedule falls and how it's aligned is about the best scenario that Dolphin fans could have hoped for.
Oh, absolutely.
And like I say, if you had to play a team on overseas, I'd rather it be Kansas City because, like I say, it's no joke going into Arrowhead Stadium.
Getting that chop going.
I know, getting the chop going, that sea of red, and trying to get your signals out if you're behind and the fans are all into it, and that's tough. We won't have that issue over there, so that is a beautiful thing. No, I agree, Scotty. You playing tough teams is the best recipe. That's the best. Yeah. That's why these college guys. That's why the SEC and college football to me it's always the best because they play tough games almost every time they play an SEC team. And then some of these teams get there and then they're like, get to the playoffs and they're like, oh my God, we're playing a really good team now. So to me, that's why the SEC is really good in college because, you build character, you have to play good time. I mean, you could, back in the old days, colleges could schedule Sisters of the Poor and, whatever. And, and then pump up their record and then voters just would vote them because, they're undefeated. But now it's good with this playoff system and teams are playing good teams. And I think the cream rises to the top. And I believe that in football too. But in the NFL, of course, all teams are pretty good. I mean, there's not one team you can say, the Dolphins are going to have we only have to play whatever, say the Texans or whoever. There's no such thing in the NFL as only because any team
Thirsty, let me ask you a question, not to interrupt you, but how many games do you think Miami's going to win right now?
I say 11. 10's the floor, but 11's my kind of real. And I don't go schedule by schedule looking at their own because if I do that, I think the Dolphins are going to win every game. So, but just as a realistic fan, I can't do it. I can never look at the schedule and say, Dolphins are going to lose. That's just
I'm between 12
I'm a
and 13.
homer and whatever. But realistically, you're going to have some bumps in the season and whatever, because only one team in the history of football, as we all know, is the Miami Dolphins in 1972, when I was 3 years old, had the perfect season. But other than that, you're going to lose games that you don't even think you're going to lose. And then you're going to have games that, oh my God, I can't believe we went into Philadelphia and beat them. But then, then we're going to play a game you're like, oh my God, how did we lose to that team,
Yep.
So,
but like you said, we're going to surprise. We're going to get shocks all season long. It's going to be nail biters. Why?
Yeah. Oh no, and that's why I say it's but like I say, I don't even want to throw the schedule back up there because it'd be useless. If I throw it back up there, I'm going to tell you that the only one I was throwing is
you're going to throw it up there.
There. That's what I would talk about. There you go. We played them November 5th. That's the game. I say we're going to win that game. That's how I would. I'm going to be with you, Hank, and Scotty, or whoever it was that said, I'm going to be 100% with you. I think we win that game.
Yeah, I like it.
I really believe that's the game that we are going to start showing the NFL. Hey, these guys are.
Hey.
Because by November, you're already going to kind of know, but then some people are going to be saying, well, they're just pretenders. Let's see what they do when they play Kansas City and the big boys.
And we'll either be chumps or champs.
Yeah, that's how I look at it.
There won't be any more discussion after that game. We'll either be where we should be or we shouldn't be. I love it. I love this schedule. I just love this whole schedule. I like the fact that we have 4 to 6 primetime games. Yeah. You don't know what's going to happen with all our games, especially the Bills game at home, the last game. That's going to be electrifying, I bet.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's going to be, and who knows what's going to be on the line by that point in the season. I mean, it could be everything. It could be a winner take all for division or whatever.
Yeah, I'm 12. I'm between 12 and 13, but after I see a little bit of preseason, I'll tell you who's going to do what.
Yeah. No, and I know, Scotty, they do Alabama. All these teams schedule weak non-conference games because it's part of the package, especially when you're in the SEC because every SEC game, not every, because, Vanderbilt's not going to scare Alabama or anything like that. But, there's a lot of SEC schools that could shock you and knock you off. So, yeah, they definitely. That's why I like pros more than college. I watch the Gators now because my son goes to, he's not a football player. He's just a student. Not just, I'm proud of him. I'm happy, Kevin, that you're a great student there at University of Florida. But my money goes there, so I've been rooting for the Gators. But, yeah, they still play some teams that you're like, who's this college? Where are they from? They're like it's just how it goes in college. In the pros, just none of that. I don't care who you play. You could have a 2-win NFL team playing a 10-win NFL team on any given Sunday. They made a movie for it. You
better be ready.
Yeah, you better be ready because you can get beat. You can get beat. And that's what makes it up. I see your wife's hand. Hello. Are you going to let her drive the Corvette?
No, she doesn't drive my car.
She doesn't trust herself.
She doesn't like driving it.
She
said if somebody's going to crash it, it's got to be me.
I thought maybe she just thought she would get a ticket or something, that she would just want to go too fast.
Hey,
So,
trust me, I don't just jump in this car and go, man. I mean, I take my time a little bit. It's taken a long time to get there.
yeah. Hey, no, it's enjoyable, man. That's a great car to take your cruise around in, man. I mean, I just cruise around in that beautiful car.
I know.
So,
We go for cruises all around Disney because Disney property's so beautiful. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And we just go because we live literally 3 minutes from Disney. So we just drive back through their back roads and everything, and it's all manicured and
Hey.
beautiful, and
Well, wait
it's
till you ride that
shady.
dolphin
And
car through Disney. You're gonna definitely all the tourists are gonna be. They're gonna think you're a tourist attraction driving around in that thing. So, so that's cool, man. But yeah, I didn't realize you were so close to Disney. That's really close. So
yeah, we just put the top down and we go for a nice cruise. It's beautiful over there, and
yeah,
there's nobody. They can't speed around you. They can't, you know. They can't be jerks on the road over there, basically. Between the buses and everybody else, you
yeah,
got to be nice.
It's smooth.
And the roads are nice and smooth.
yeah.
They're curvy. So sometimes if nobody's on them,
You feel like you're in a racetrack. Oh yeah.
there are times that we do go through there at 2 and 3 in the morning. So,
Oh wow. But still,
uh,
be careful, Hank. You don't want to get a ticket, or you don't want to go wrecking that beautiful car.
no, that won't happen. I don't drive like that.
All right.
No. I might
Anyway,
go
we're
a
almost
little
at the end here.
faster. Little
We're
faster.
almost at the
Yes.
end, Hank, and I just wanted to tell you thank you for joining me because I was flying solo today on the last minute. I couldn't have some people join me. Steve
Yeah,
had something else to do, and Justin had something else to do. So it was just me flying solo. So I appreciate you coming in mid-show to save me from floundering around on the
Oh, you
fishing
weren't
deck.
floundering. You were doing fine.
Well, thank you. So anyway, that's about it. We'll find out maybe this week if Dalvin Cook's made his decision, maybe, or we'll have that next week to talk about
It'll
again.
be next week. It'll be next week.
You think it'll be next week?
I think it'll be next week. He's gonna wait till OTAs.
Yeah, not
And
OTAs, training
that's
camps. Yeah, you're gonna wait for it.
that's at least 2 weeks,
Yeah,
unless you count rookies.
yeah. Rookies report. Yeah, you know the 17th.
Yeah, rookies are about a week now.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll see. He's gonna want it sooner than later because he's gonna want to know where he's going. But like you say, he could be waiting too for a running back to get hurt in the training camp, and then his money's gonna go that much more higher. But,
Exactly.
yeah, but I do believe that he wants to become a Miami Dolphin, but it's not necessarily a deadlock because the money could be a lot. We don't know what. That's the thing. None of us know as fans what the money's being offered. We don't know who's offering what.
Well, here's something that I saw on Twitter. Okay?
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook wants to be in Miami. Miami wants Dalvin Cook. And why is Dalvin Cook still talking with the Jets then?
Yeah. I don't know. That's true.
If that's what they really want, make it happen.
He could really want Miami, but he could want more money from Miami too. So he wants to be
Miami's lowballing them. They shouldn't be. That's Greer. He's gonna miss a quality player over $1 million is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Watch.
I agree, but I know they are hard up against the cap.
$1 million is not going to hurt the cap. If you're concerned over $1 million, you got other issues.
Yeah, no, I know. No, I agree. You said that on your Saturday show on the Fins Talk Sports Network, which you are on every Saturday at noon Eastern Standard Time. And yes, Scotty, like always, money talks. That's what he said. Money talks. That's always
true.
That's always true in any line of business. It's always going to come down to the dollar and or whatever you want to call it, money, cha-ching, the bag. It always comes down to that. It's it. Everyone wants to get the most of it that they can. The team wants to save as much as they can to make the most they can, and then the players want to make every penny they can. And that's why we just got to deal with it.
It's got to be tough being a running back. You get all beat up every game.
Oh, no, for sure.
Every game you have people basically hitting you. You're in car accidents.
That's why the longevity of a running back is probably shorter than the shelf life of a running back
I totally get why he wants the money, is what I'm saying. I totally understand.
I agree 100%. I understand why he wants
because that's the rest of his life money.
Yeah,
that's it.
This is his probably final contract, unless it goes bad and he gets cut and another team picks him up. But this is most likely his final contract. He knows that's going to be a big money contract. So I understand why he wants to get the most out of it. And I don't hold it against him. If you can get more money somewhere else, then go for it. But at least he's limited himself, I think, a little bit because he wants to go to a good team. So that kind of limits, because some team out of the left field could come and say, "Oh, I'm going to give you $10 million," but if they're not a good team, he's probably not going to go out there.
Yeah, but they still hasn't signed with the Jets either, has he? So everybody's saying he wants to go to the Jets, but yet he hasn't signed with them yet either. I think he's trying to get Miami to make a fair deal and go to Miami.
That's what I'm hoping for too. Like I say, that might be my Dolph fan in me talking, but that's what I feel. And then we are closed by what Scotty says here. The NFLPA needs to protect the running back position somehow. It's being abused. And that's it. Teams do abuse it. They draft them.
Yeah.
If we got them in the first round, then they have basically 5-year control over them. And if they draft them in the other rounds, it's basically 4-year. They run, abuse them, and then they don't even get them bothered. They let them go, and then they draft it all over again instead of giving them the big money. So
yeah, they don't get those long-term contracts. They're not getting the Emmitt Smith contracts and things like that anymore.
Oh, I know. Like the days of Eric Dickerson and Eric and Emmitt Smith, all those big-time back. They
didn't give Dickerson all that much. He used to complain about it.
Oh, I know. He did. That's why he got traded. I know, from like the Rams to the Colts or whatever. But, hey, it's all good. And, Hank, it's always good to hear. And, guys, if you are in here and you haven't done so already, give me a thumbs up, thumbs up here on the tube or Facebook. And Hank, with no further ado, man, I guess we're out. And with this hope, and where can they find you every Saturday? You can promote yourself. Well, I forgot to do too much today. How can they find you on Saturdays?
Saturdays, you can find me at noon.
On the Fins Talk Sports Network.
On the Fins Talk Sports Network.
Very
Absolutely.
Good. Another great Dolphin channels, guys, that you got to go check out.
Bobby and I go at it.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's good stuff. He didn't come in here. Sometimes he comes in here. I missed your live show, but I watched it Saturday. It was good. You guys talked about your logos. You held up your favorite logo. And,
yeah.
You talked about your car some, but you talked about all the contract situation. It was good stuff. And he gave me some love on the show. He gave Dolphin Thirsty some love on the show. Normally, I always watch you guys live, but I had family commitments and I couldn't watch until later that afternoon. But it's always good stuff.
We love you coming in, too. It's fun when you come in also.
Yeah, I know. I try every Saturday at noon, but can't always get there. But that was great stuff.
My problem is I forget things, all right? So
hey, I know. Hey, it's easy to forget, too. But anyway, guys, fins up, thumbs up. You guys are the best. Thank you for joining today. Go Dolphins!
Fins up.